Niccolò Machiavelli, the cold, calculating mind behind the prince, understood something most people still ignore to this day. Words are illusions, but behavior is truth. People may flatter you, charm you, promise loyalty, and even swear devotion, but underneath the mask of smiles lies the only thing that truly matters: intention. And intentions rarely speak in plain language. They reveal themselves through contradiction, pressure, subtle manipulation, power dynamics, and the ever-shifting theater of human interaction. Machiavelli's world was one of treachery and politics, but his insight into human nature is universal. In a world where betrayal hides behind kindness, and motives are cloaked behind friendship, you need more than good instincts. You need a set of tests, psychological traps, triggers, methods of exposure. These are not tricks of cruelty, but of clarity. They are not about paranoia. They are about protection. These are the tests Machiavelli himself would use in the modern world to reveal exactly who you're dealing with. Because your survival, power, peace, and progress depend on it. Let's go deep, beyond the surface, into the shadows. People lie, but patterns don't. And the most effective way to expose someone is not to interrogate them with questions. It's to put them in situations where they can't hide who they are. Every word out of their mouth can be scripted. Every smile can be fake. But under pressure, in silence, in delayed gratification, and in moments where their image isn't at risk, that's when their true self crawls out from underneath the mask. Machiavelli believed that a ruler should always be feared more than loved. Not because cruelty is ideal, but because fear reveals loyalty. If people respect you under pressure, you know they're genuine. If they crumble or betray when your favor slips, their loyalty was never real. Now imagine applying that same principle to your daily relationships. Friends, business partners, lovers, family. Imagine having a system of tests so accurate that within days, sometimes hours, you know who is safe and who is using you. That's what we're about to uncover. These aren't questions. These are Machiavellian filters, triggers, psychological mines you place with subtlety. You watch, you wait, and you see exactly what the truth is. The first and most important rule: never announce the test. Why? Because the moment people know they're being evaluated, they change, they act, they perform. That defeats the purpose. A true test must appear natural, like a casual moment, an overlooked situation, a coincidence. And then you let nature do what it does best: reveal character through pattern. The second rule: don't interfere with the result. When people begin to fail your test, maybe they show jealousy, maybe they gossip, maybe they disappear during your low moments. Don't jump in and rescue their image. Don't justify it. Don't explain it away. Let them fall. Because the moment you make excuses for someone's bad character, you become part of the lie. Once you understand those rules, you're ready to begin using the 7 psychological triggers Machiavelli would have embedded in the modern world. These tests will not only expose people's intentions, they will expose your own weaknesses, too. Where you trust too quickly, where you crave approval, where you ignore red flags. These aren't just tests for others. They are tools for personal evolution. Because power is not just knowing what others hide, it's knowing what you allow. Begin with time. Machiavelli valued patience above all. He believed a ruler's greatest strength was his ability to wait, to endure discomfort without rushing to action. Why does this matter? Because time destroys masks. Give someone access to your energy, but not to your soul. Let them orbit you and watch. Don't fall for early validation. Don't mistake affection for loyalty. Over time, observe who stays consistent. When you no longer provide attention, watch who fades. When you share good news, watch who celebrates. When you stay silent, watch who reaches out. When you're in pain, observe who disappears. Time is the great revealer. You don't need to accuse. You don't need to confront. You simply need to endure. Silence more. Speak less. Let the noise of others create their own echoes. Eventually, the real ones reveal themselves by staying when your value isn't obvious. and the fake ones vanish when your spotlight dims. Another test Machiavelli would value is praise withdrawal. People addicted to validation cannot love. They only perform for praise. Remove that praise, and their loyalty collapses. Do this. Take someone who constantly bathes in your compliments, attention, and support, and simply reduce it. Don't be cold. Just become neutral. Watch how they react. Do they still show up? Are they still present? Or do they slowly fade? Better yet, do they get angry? Do they guilt trip you? Do they accuse you of changing? This is your answer. People who love you conditionally will punish you for stopping the rewards. But those who love you truly, they stay, even when they aren't being fed. Machiavelli would argue that this exposes people's transactional nature. Love, loyalty, friendship, all become performances in a marketplace of ego. Remove the currency, and the actors vanish. The third test is vulnerability exposure. Not your vulnerability. Machiavelli would advise, observe what someone hides, and then watch how they react when those weak points are touched. Not attacked, just touched. If someone has insecurity about status, test what happens when you succeed. Do they celebrate you? Or does their mood shift? Do they shrink around your success? Do they deflect praise? If someone has insecurity about control, introduce uncertainty. Change plans. Set boundaries. Watch how they handle not being in charge. True character is revealed when people are forced to confront what they fear. Another test, contradiction tolerance. Machiavelli believed wise rulers must understand that truth is layered. And people who can't handle contradiction, who need black and white definitions, are often hiding weakness. Expose someone's flexibility of mind. Present opinions that differ from theirs. Politely challenge their views. Disagree without aggression. Do they stay calm? Or do they become defensive? Do they mock you? Do they try to overpower your point? People who cannot handle opposition often reveal deep insecurity. And Machiavelli would argue, anyone who cannot manage disagreement without losing their composure is unfit to hold power or your trust. Then comes the test of delayed gratification. Give people access to something desirable, praise, opportunity, money, status, information, but delay the reward. Tell them, subtly, that it's coming, and then wait. Watch how they behave in the waiting. People of character stay consistent, but opportunists grow bitter, impatient, passive-aggressive. This Machiavellian test separates those who value the relationship from those who only value the reward. And once that's revealed, you'll never unsee it. Another devastating test, absence. Simply go silent. Pull back. Create distance. Not out of manipulation, but observation. Who reaches out? Who notices? Who fills the gap? And more importantly, who doesn't? Machiavelli would say that absence is not abandonment. It's illumination. Because if your silence makes them silent, too, they were only echoing your noise. Finally, the test of private disclosure. Share a piece of sensitive information. Not dangerous, just personal, and watch where it travels. If it comes back to you through others, you have your answer. Machiavelli believed trust is a currency to be invested wisely. And what people do with your private truth tells you exactly how they value you. Betrayal isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's casual, a joke, a comment, a slip, but it's still truth, and it still reveals what they think you're worth. In the end, these tests are not about paranoia. They are about perception. Machiavelli never told you to distrust everyone. He told you to see people as they are, not as they pretend to be. Power doesn't come from controlling others. It comes from controlling access, from knowing who to let in, and who to keep at a distance. When you stop hoping people will be honest, and start watching how they behave when no one is looking, everything changes. You gain clarity. You build power. You protect peace. You expose not just who others are, but who you are becoming by allowing the wrong people too close. Welcome to the Machiavelli Guide. This is your armor.